Welcome, everyone, to a brand new show by Zenith&Crew. We are Kat and Doug presents The Falcon's Nest,
a subsidiary of the Marvel Initiative.
So, as we mentioned before in our WandaVision video, we wanted to do an actual live reaction of this show. We weren't able to do it the first one, so this one, we're going to test it out and, see how it goes, see if it's suitable for our format. This is a bit of a spin-off from our other show that we do with Zenith, the Marvel Initiative. That is a podcast where we review each Marvel film in chronological date, like premiere order. We didn't want to have to wait to get through that to talk about this, so this is going to be strictly the two of us live reacting to all the new stuff that comes out on Disney+. But if you want to know our opinions on the other films, go to Zenith Warrior Princess to see them in full. But for now, though, we're going to focus on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I've been excited for this one. Believe it or not, Falcon actually is one of my favorite Avengers. And it kind of sucks that, even though he's been there for a good couple of movies, he's never really had his own merch. He's always paired with, Captain America or in a group shot or something. I really hope that, once the show takes off, I'll be able to get some actual, Falcon merch. Because I love Anthony Mackie. I love the character of Sam. I love his outfit and those friggin' wings. I want them.
On your left.
And he's so funny, too. It's just, I love the character. A lot of people keep saying, oh, he's just a sidekick, whatever. I'm like, no, he's cool, and he's effective. Shut up. And I don't hate Bucky. I mean, he's not my favorite, but unfortunately, he's been too much of a victim up to this point to, really, root for him or anything. You feel more bad for him. But I'm hoping with this, he'll be more fleshed out as a character. You actually get to see maybe his more casual side, or at least probably his more annoyed side, given he's going to be with Sam, who's going to be busting his chops, every friggin' episode.
Can you move the seat back?
No. You have any high hopes for this?
Go Team Cap!
Aye.
In fact, honestly, I plugged that we should have made this whole series Go Team Cap. Basically, everybody from Team Cap is getting their own spin-off television series. We had WandaVision, we have Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we have Loki. Even though he wasn't Team Cap, he did still pretend to be Captain America for a bit in Thor: The Dark World. And then we have a Hawkeye series. So yeah, all Team Cap.
For the record, I was very much against this. I vetoed it because, believe it or not, I am Team Stark, as you can clearly tell. Not dissing Team Cap. I'm not dissing Captain America. I actually do like Chris Evans' version of Captain America very much. It's just, I like Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark more. I can't help it. It's my first hero introduction into the MCU, as I'm sure it was for everyone, and the character I resonated with the most. He's always been my favorite, and it's just, when you compare the two, for me, there's just no comparison. So, sue me for going against the obvious.
Steve Rogers was worthy.
Tony Stark made the finishing blow.
Captain America survived in ice for 50 years.
Tony survived getting blown up and getting shrapnel in his heart. We can do this all day, folks. I expect a lot of this in the series going forward.
Tony couldn't hold Mjolnir.
Tony didn't have to hold Mjolnir. He held the Infinity Stones.
And it killed him.
Semantics.
Cap beat the crap out of Tony.
Shut up! Tony still gave him a run for his money. But anywho, let's get this started with the first episode, New World Order! So yeah, I believe this starts probably almost immediately after Endgame, I'm guessing. Or at least in the, weeks, months following. From what I heard, this is going to be mostly a buddy cop situation. Which I'm fine with. It'll be the new Lethal Weapon. I'm just gonna wait for Bucky to say, I'm getting too old for this shit. So let's get started, shall we? Play.
30 minutes of opening logos.
Ding! Ding! And we open up with ironing. My least favorite chore.
But you liked Iron Man.
Yes, but he didn't iron his clothes.
So then he was a horrible ironer. It's such irony.
Oh. I wonder how heavy that shield is. I imagine it was easy for Steve with his super strength, but for Sam, that's gonna be way heavy.
It's Sam. This has to be subtle. Subtle. Got it.
Somehow they hear each other.
YOLO. God, I love those wings. I want them so bad.
Peace sign of LAS? Nah, nothing yet. But I'll keep track of the chatter.
Oh shit. Oh man, he
They've
did.
already hijacked the plane.
Too
Oh,
late.
cover's blown.
There's a Falcon on the wing of the plane. It's crazy, boys.
Plane B.
Ooh. Whoopsie.
Now who's flying the plane?
Oh no, the ground.
Ow.
Well, that's useful.
Let's get you out here.
Not so fast.
Not in the face. Whee! How far do they think they're gonna get, given the other guy has wings? Also, they put on that gear real fast.
Oh, come on.
You're gonna shoot while free falling? Good luck. Ooh! Gotcha, bitch.
Whee! Oh, come on.
Bullshit. That's great. Now you're both gonna die.
Ow.
That's what you get.
Keep going! We're close! Get to the border. He's not gonna follow.
You don't know that. Ooh.
Sorry to crash the party.
I assume they have a problem with that. Yeah, a big problem. A big problem.
Military is so helpful.
He's outnumbered.
You think? Ooh. Woo. Almost got shish kebab.
Crud. Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
We gotta find another way. I just did.
Gotcha.
Woo.
Uh-oh.
Woo. Some Saving Private Ryan shit.
Well, yeah, those poor techs can't keep up with a billion returning IP addresses and your sick-ass Star level tech.
What is Star Tech?
Hastema. See, these guys are the guys you gotta worry about. I've been stumbling onto their manifestos on message boards. They call themselves flag smashers. Was that a new thing? Bad guys get themselves bad names?
Nah.
Wow, worse names than that one. I'll track the online chatter, see what they're saying.
You mean to tell me everything didn't have borders during the blip?
I'm guessing they were a little short-handed.
Conspiracy theories.
I know they had more to worry about, but still.
So are you off to Washington? What are you doing there? More stuff. And he mastered posing stoically.
Meh.
Ah, hey, Rowdy.
It's been forever changed.
Rowdy.
But this belongs to you.
So I guess to the rest of the world, he's just dead. Here's Cap gives him his most powerful shield in the universe, and he sticks it in a museum. Cool if the Smithsonian actually had a wing like this.
Be in touch.
I mean, I don't blame him. That's a really big legacy to shoulder. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah!
Hey, Bucky.
Wee.
Ooh.
Ooh, right in the neck. You think someone said the words?
Or he's having a dream.
That's right, you didn't.
Yep. That was a dream.
He's sleeping on the floor.
So, Mr. Barnes, are you still having nightmares?
Nice
Let me
imagery.
ask you a question. Are you still having nightmares?
He's lost in the woods.
With your history, the government needs to know that you're not gonna
What does
take
this
the
mean?
condition of your pardon.
Jerk off.
So, tell me about your most recent nightmare.
I didn't have a nightmare.
Such stellar dialogue.
Oh, come on, really? You're gonna do the notebook thing? Why? was a Hydra pawn for years. Helped her get into office when I was a Winter Soldier.
So he's hunting down Hydra agents.
So, rule number 1. Can't do anything illegal. Hell?
It was give some intel to the aide to convict her.
Rule number 2.
What was rule number 2?
Nobody gets hurt. It's a big one.
Then why isn't that rule number 1? I didn't hurt anybody.
Oof.
And what about rule number 3?
I'm no longer the Winter Soldier. I'm James Bucky Barnes, and you're part of my efforts to make amends.
So he hunts down agents, he scares the shit out of them, and he says, by the way, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Officers, take him away.
Some people really do want to help.
Sorry, not sorry.
Look, you've got to nurture friendships. I am the only person you have called all week. That is so sad. You have no history, no
Are
family.
you lashing out at me, Doc? Because that's really unprofessional. You know, I mean, when did that start? When you start yelling at your clients? Oh, the notebook. That's
Now that you've stopped fighting, what do you want?
peace.
That is utter bullshit.
Terrible, Frank.
I was an excellent soldier. And if you are alone, that is the quietest, most personal hell. And James, it is very hard to escape.
She's right there.
You're free.
Free to do what?
To do what?
Exactly.
The candy's not even half full. Why don't you share? What are you talking about? Okay, no doubt about it. It's Mr. Nakajima. Hey, Mr. Nakajima. Hey, Nakajima. Rory, what's going on? I thought we were getting lunch. Hey, man, I'm unique. It's like Monique, but it's got a U in there for uniqueness. That's absurd.
That's a name.
So is he living in Brooklyn now?
It would make sense. That's
Back
what
where
he
he came from.
Yeah. Probably hunt down one of the few people that are still alive, I guess.
You should ask her out. He would like to take you out on a date. A night of pinnacle. I'm really sorry about him.
Why are you sorry? Okay.
Aww.
Tomorrow night then?
Tomorrow night's great. Just maybe not pinnacle.
What's wrong with pinnacle?
Shift, but if you want to come back here, I should be done around 10.
It helps to have a wingman. Is that Mochi? Aww.
He was working abroad, and he was killed. The police said, wrong place, wrong time, but I will never know what really happened to him. I felt it was strange. In here.
That took a turn. Mystery.
Victim of the Winter Soldier, maybe.
Ooh. That would be a cruel twist.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, the number of people he must have offed over the years must be staggering.
Uncle Sam!
Aww.
What's up?
Yeah, did you see the sign that said Wilson?
Yeah.
Uncle Sam! What's going on? You got mom sticky look on your face.
How you gonna try to read me when you know I'm the one that reads you? Off to save the world again? No, come on, Carlos. You know I'm around here more than you, man. I'm always when you gonna let me borrow the wings, man? $100 for.
Asked everyone ever.
You made it till before Daddy died. You're out there. I do things my way here.
Right, but you tangled the house into this when you took those loans.
Hmm.
Look how hard you hit. I won't let you down. We can turn this shit around. Trust me.
How much money does he have?
Always.
Like, does the military actually pay him?
I imagine he's gotta have something put away.
I'm just saying, before he became a hero, he was like, what was it, counselor? And like, probably living off like military stipend or something. I don't think they exactly give you a paycheck for being a hero.
That might not have been his only job.
I guess.
Well, if that's not the most adorably old-fashioned thing anyone's ever done.
Aw.
Try the whole online dating thing. It's pretty crazy.
Wait, how old are you?
106.
Something big flex?
I have poor circulation.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah.
You like games?
Love them.
Want to play a
Couple
game?
games are after boring shifts.
Battleship.
We'll grab a couple beers.
You took my battleship.
Did she just keep that underneath the front thing of the sushi place?
What are you doing?
I'm reading your mind.
Please don't.
Had enough of that shit.
Hit.
Drink. Come on, drink.
Random cat.
Ha.
Well, you really
Drinking
like.
battleship.
You know how we call a guy whose wife died a widower? Or if your parents died, you're an orphan? And there's no word for someone whose kids die. Because it's like the worst thing that can happen. You did?
Nice dialogue to have during a date.
How was the date?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
God, I owe you for lunch.
Can't even enjoy a date without being reminded of the people he killed.
You always gotta do the most.
Sir, you know I don't play with these white folks. Look, I know you're worried, all right? But I did the research. There's no such thing as on time. You're either early or late. Pick one.
Okay, now you're really doing one.
True.
of those.
Yeah.
All right,
It is
boys,
true.
I love you. Mr. Lou's gonna watch over you and no video games.
Secret meetings.
It's like Pokemon Go, but with crime.
Team Rocket.
Hmm.
Ooh. That guy landed rather gracefully. Ah, I see now. Clever dog.
So I don't know how jurisdiction works here, but I'll have to place you under arrest.
Ooh. I will break you. Ooh.
I mean, do I know you from somewhere?
I don't know, do you?
Too. Where?
Meh.
Where do I know you from?
I knew it. Falcon.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Meh.
I didn't want to say anything, you know.
I always wanted to be an adventure.
Oh, man.
That's
That's true, you know.
fucking fanboys.
Keeping my family's business afloat.
I mean, your financials are all over the place. Is there some kind of fund for heroes, or did Stark pay you when he was around? Make a note, by the way.
Thank
These
you.
are legit
It
questions.
doesn't work like that.
You have no income over the last 5 years.
How can you have income if you don't exist?
Sarah.
Got a
I've
point.
been gone, like several billion other people. I have government contracts, so that's proof of earnings, and I know for a fact that we qualify for an SBA loan.
Under the old terms, sure. But these days, with everyone just showing up, well, things tightened up.
Funny how
Fucking
things
thanks.
tighten around us.
Whoa, easy there, look. Is there any chance, but of course you can say no, that I could get a selfie with your arms out?
Are you serious?
That's. You have some
Read
nerve.
the room.
Some nerve, asshole.
Listen, I know your family has banked with us for generations, but we cannot approve you. I'm truly sorry.
You don't know what happened these last 5 years. I was alone with 2 babies, and I survived. I'm the one who kept that boat from sinking.
Yeah, well, half the boat's mine, and so is the house. We're not selling our family's legacy.
You gonna do me like that, but you know I'm right?
Yup.
It's like I see his point, but I see hers more, given the circumstances.
We need a real person who embodies America's greatest values. We need someone to inspire us again.
We need Superman.
Someone who can be a symbol for all of us. Join me in welcoming your new Captain America.
Who might you be, good sir?
So I guess that's that guy that from They were talking about Watch Mojo. John Walker. That was the guy.
John Walker? Oh.
That was the guy that's wearing the suit now.
Okay. I got a bad feeling about this. No symbol just pops up out of nowhere. Those are the words?
The words.
That set him off. I wonder if that would still work.
Done she dead.
I'm just surprised Rhodey didn't step up. I mean, he kind of became like the government's poster boy during the third Iron Man movie, so you think he would have done that again?
He did get crippled in Civil War.
Right, but he still can fight and function.
I guess he didn't want to make it full time. He just, still work with the Avengers, but...
I guess not lead them.
Yeah.
What do you think? Post-credit scene? No post-credit scene?
I think we've already missed that, cause that's not happening, because the skip credits thing came on. So yeah, I think that's all we're getting for this one.
Probably save those for later, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get anything post-credits for, like, the first few episodes of WandaVision, so...
Right.
Yeah, it might be a bit... Do you think they need to work on the pacing a little bit?
I mean, it's only the first episode.
I know.
They're establishing where the two are at, following Endgame.
Yeah, and I get they want to establish mood and things like that, but there's a fine line to walk between, padding and, pacing.
Yeah, but let's face it, a lot of the episodes from here on out are probably going to be action, action, action.
Yeah.
Put all the slower stuff in the first few episodes. Okay, so decent start to it. I mean, it's like with WandaVision. Everything's slow. You're establishing the setting, the mood, the characters, and all that, and the circumstances. Because I kind of figured Sam wouldn't take up the mantle, at least not right away, because, again, that's a heavy legacy to shoulder. And unlike Steve, he doesn't have superpowers. Putting an ordinary man as a symbol for, like, the entire world or something, that's a lot. He's gonna need a lot of time to come to terms with that. Plus, he wants to focus on his family, who he hasn't seen in 5 years. So that's understandable. And then, of course, with Bucky, poor Bucky. I mean, I'm glad he's going to therapy. It just sucks that I don't think it's the appropriate therapy for him.
It's, probably, sort of court mandated.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, at least he's got someone who's had the experience of being, in the military.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's that much, but, yeah, the person's either being, too hostile or too, passive-aggressive for what he needs.
I think the issue, too, is Bucky himself and the fact that, he comes from a time period where therapy was kind of frowned upon, and, a lot of people thought it was, more for, crazy people or whatever. Because back then, during, the wars, they didn't really understand, PTSD and all that. They called it more shell shock and treated it more like hysteria or something as opposed to, depression or anxiety. So it could be that he's just kind of resistant to the whole thing as, a default, and she kind of has to really, prod him just to get him to open up. Because you saw, the beginning of their session, he was only answering her, 1 or 2 words at most. Granted, like I said, she was a bit harsh, but at the same time, he needs to learn to open up, like she said. But I know that's also hard because what does he really have left to live for? I mean, they established that his family's pretty much dead. Pretty much all of his friends are dead. So, who does he really have left?
Yeah, I mean, that's why she was, pressing on the issue of making friends. Mm-hmm. Give him something to live for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the only real...
Give him something to get out of his mind.
Mm-hmm. Because, they show the only real person he really associates with is Sam, and their history is not that good. They really only had, Steve as the common denominator, and now they don't even have him anymore, so what's even the point? And they have conflicting personalities, so having them alone together, at least at this point in time, is not the best. I was surprised he didn't just go back to Wakanda. I mean, I assume they have their own problems to deal with, hence why they couldn't take him back. I mean, he seemed to actually be happy there, which is surprising, but then again, when you're isolated from the rest of the world, I guess it's easier. And it sucks, though, because he actually does try. He does, make friends with an older man, which I guess is easier for him to relate to. Unfortunately, that didn't turn out pretty well, considering, he killed his son. And he even tries, like, to go on a date, and his past once again comes up. Like, I get the girl was trying to, like, get to know him, and he's kind of, like, you know, at face value, he's a hard shell to crack, but I think she went a little too hard on the first date.
Yeah.
Like, I like the whole them playing Battleship. It was a fun little thing, and it was a way for her to kind of, like, see what he looks like when he's thinking or when he's trying to conceal something, like, try to get a tell, but at the same time, she went a little too...
She seems very unaware of his history, and, you know, she just seeing that, oh, he's friends with this guy, and that terrible tragedy about his son. She doesn't know, so I can't exactly blame her.
I guess. It just sucks. It's like now I feel like really bad for him, and I already felt bad for him enough to begin with, but now it's like he is legitimately trying, and he actually is trying to make amends for what he did before in a really, really weird kind of way. When he confronted that one Hydra agent, it's like, okay, I'm gonna make things right by hijacking her car, scaring the shit out of her, punching her friend in the face, and then saying I'm sorry, and then leaving her for the cops. Okay, that makes sense. Any thoughts you had on this?
The new guy in the suit is Mephisto. Calling it now.
We're going down that road again. Everything's Mephisto.
Yeah, everything's Mephisto. Everything's Mephisto because everybody wanted it to be.
If we want it hard enough, it has to come true. Even if it doesn't make sense.
I'm going to be like Fred in a pup named Scooby-Doo and just be like, that's Mephisto, that's Mephisto. It was Mephisto all along.
You watch, they pull like a Mandarin type deal where they just make some random dude Mephisto, but it's like a character name or something, just to mess with the fans.
I mean, I know there's like people saying that in the Loki series, they're already calling for that to be Mephisto, so yeah, let's just keep running this joke into the ground until it actually is Mephisto. So then it's like either, you know, it actually is Mephisto and we're right, or, you know, we just make this joke so run into the ground that everybody gets tired of it. It's win-win.
I hate to say it, but I'm saying this based on what I've heard other reviewers talk about, you know, the subject of Mephisto, in that he's probably not going to show up in any iteration, at least not the way we know him. And the reason is because Marvel doesn't want to alienate their, you know, foreign markets, because especially in China, they're really against like devil imagery, and Mephisto is straight up the devil. If they did add him, like anything he was in would not be shown in China, and that's like half their money right there. So for money purposes and marketing purposes, they would not use him in, you know, the traditional sense. If they did add him, he would most likely be a very watered down version of what we know. Like, to the point where you even question if he's the same character. Like, I might be wrong. Like, maybe they'll bring him back in some other iteration. Maybe one of the subsidiaries of Marvel will do something and get away with it. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, based on, you know, a logistics standpoint, it wouldn't make sense for them to add that character. But the devil aside.
The devil's in the details.
I like Sam's sister. Like, she's very tough, and you'd really see where she's coming from with all this, you know, having to raise her kids by herself, having to keep her family business afloat by herself. I get where Sam's coming from in that he doesn't want, you know, the last remains of his family to be sold off or disappear or whatever, try to maintain his legacy, but at the same time, in this new world, you know, post-blip, it just doesn't make sense, and nobody's willing to help them. Which I think is bullshit. You know, the fact that the banks, as soon as the population comes back, it's like, oh, well, we have more people now to spend more money and give more money to. Let's tighten up our restrictions even more so we have even more poor people than before. That makes sense. Freaking capitalists.
Banks never change.
Nope. I can just imagine, like, insurance companies, too. It's like, oh, you disappeared during the blip. Oh, yeah, you're not covered under, like 85% of our policies now. I just imagine that world, and I'm starting to understand now why that one, that new organization is now becoming prominent. It's like, oh, we like things before the blip. It's like, You know, now that I think about it, yeah, stuff like, you know, the bank situation and insurance and other, like, problems, like, you know, with maintaining borders and all that, you know, that wasn't relevant during the 5 years because people were trying to rebuild everything that they lost. So there was no, I assume, no real conflict during that time. At least nothing in that, you know, that would seem menial by comparison. I kind of side with that organization in that aspect. Until we saw what's-his-name, who basically gathered all of these followers in one place just to be diversion for him, like, trying to get out of a bank robbery. I assume that's,
What's it called? The flags?
Yeah.
Something like that?
I keep wanting to say the hand because of the symbol, but...
No, they said it was, like, something flag.
Right.
Or flag busters, something, you know.
I thought the name was stupid, honestly.
Some aggressive flag.
Yeah. I'm assuming that guy's Zemo, right? Or is it another, like, bad guy? Because I thought Zemo, they established, was going to be, like, the baddie in this.
He might be. We may not have seen him yet, but he's from what I hear, it is likely he's going to be in this.
Because I know the last time we saw him, he was, you know, captured by the government after the whole Civil War thing and held in isolation. It's debatable whether he, you know, was around or he disappeared within the blip, but I imagine he probably was stuck around and probably with all the reduced security found a way to escape, and he probably got into some government experimental bullshit to, like, you know, give himself advanced powers or something.
Oh yeah, because he's supposed to be wearing, like, that hood like he does in, like, the comics or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, you think he managed to get his hand on the serum that Captain America had?
It's possible.
I mean, he obviously has super strength and endurance. We've seen him do a lot of the same moves that Cap does, so it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, his plan in Civil War should have fallen apart like a million times over. The fact that everything just lined up was just a miracle. You really either need to find something else or get better at planning, because...
Zemo is the most conveniently brilliant bad guy in Marvel history, because, yeah, the fact that his plan worked out that friggin' well, despite how absolutely fragile it was, is just astounding. On the one hand, that should make him a legitimate threat, which I believe he is, especially given the direction they're going with this, but at the same time, it's like, he's just an ordinary guy who got lucky. It's like, it's hard to really take him serious in that aspect. But like I said, I'm pretty certain they're going to change that in this and make him, you know, an actual legit bad guy that we, you know, stand to fear. I do like the action in this. Like, the Falcon's whole scene with the... That was
making me anxious there.
I will say, I found it a little, like, goofy, and like the fact that they were all able to get into their glider outfits in record time and somehow managed to not only like take off like faster than Falcon can fly, but navigate their way flawlessly through the cannons and everything.
The one guy that managed to like flip himself over and shoot at Falcon. Okay,
well, shit.
I don't know if, you know, being airborne like that, even, you know, a bullet could even have the same sort of velocity.
Like, I've seen action flicks where, like, the hero and bad guys are, like, falling out of a plane and they're, like, trying to shoot each other and stuff, and I'm just like, how does that work? I debate whether, like, the speed of a bullet going out of a gun can be faster than, you know, dropping from a great distance. Like, I'm sure Mythbusters probably covered that at some point.
Not to mention, when you're in the air like that, free-falling, it's not like you have a whole lot of control over your stability. So even if your shots were, you know, able to land, you still gotta make sure they're lined up.
I mean, it makes sense with Falcon, you know, given he does shoot while he flies, but then again, he has the jet propulsion system in the form of his wings, so that makes sense. He has actual
control.
He
would be, in this case, he'd be aiming down, so he'd have, you know, the better aim.
But the other guy, he just he had like a body glider. He had someone attached to him to throw off his weight. It just baffled me, just like how he was able to do this.
No, that was like my suspension of disbelief during that whole scene was so gone.
I mean, we had to do something to just reestablish that, you know, that Falcon is a badass, you know, all the people that say, oh yeah, he's not that great a fighter, you know, not like, it's like, shut the fuck up, he was a soldier, he could actually fight, you like, wearing those giant-ass wings, like, give him some credit. So, like I said, this is a little different in terms of reactions, because we're used to watching, you know, mostly comedic stuff, and this is more serious, you know, action-oriented, so let us know in the comments if you liked our format for this. Otherwise we can switch to just a straight-up discussion review. Either or, whatever you guys want. We're flexible. I just figured we'd try the format with this, see how it panned out. Because I gotta say that I'm probably gonna have to do a lot of wiki searching with this. I am not, like, all-knowing when it comes to Marvel. I've definitely learned over the years thanks to, you know, the movies and the shows and stuff, but I'm not an encyclopedic, like, nerd like other reviewers are. You know, forgive me if I get some stuff wrong or I don't catch things right away. We're trying, we're learning. We do our research after the fact. Let's just put it that way. So we'll just have to wait another week to see what the second episode brings. How many are there going to be in total? Is it also like 9, like WandaVision?
I know it's supposed to go for about a month, so it might not be as many episodes.
Okay. Honestly, this does feel like part of a movie, like a legit movie. Like, if this is how they set up the pacing, I can see them editing this all together into one long movie, if they wanted to. But again, we'll wait to see how the rest of the episodes play out, because it really does feel more like a movie than WandaVision does.
Yeah.
But then again, WandaVision was set up purposely as a TV show.
Yeah, it was intended to be a television show.
Yeah. Okay, so until next time, everyone, I'm Kat MacBerrie.
And on your left, I'm Doug MacBerrie.
And go Team Stark.
Go Team Cap!
This feud will never end.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who chose to oppose his shield must yield. If he's led to a fight and a duel is due, then the red and the white and the blue will come through when Captain America throws his mighty shield.